Go.
Hello everyone. I hope you're there. I hope there's some folks out there. We'd like to welcome everybody from Woodcraft that's involved we'd like to welcome you to King Arthur's Tools. I'm Maverick Gillette. I've been here since 2010. I'm the resident carving instructor, demonstrator. Also, I do some technical support on the telephone with our retail customers and yours as well. I always encourage you to send them to us if they have any technical questions that you can't answer. We're here 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. We'd be glad to answer any of your questions or your customers' questions. Also do dealer sales. And if you got any questions, that's what we do. We like to support you guys as much as we can. I'm just going to move through our products really quick. If anybody has any questions or anything, be sure to ask away. And I'm just going to go, since we're kind of limited in our time frame today. If you see my bowl carving video that we produced a couple of years ago, it's called Bowl Carving 1, 2, 3. It's only 5.5 minutes long, and it'll walk you through all these steps, kind of in a logical fashion, of how our tools are to be used, sort of as a whole system. Now, while they can be used individually, of course, I view it as a whole carving and sanding system. The first, of course, is our Lancelot chainsaw carvers. They go in any 4.5-inch grinder. Some grinders you can actually stack 2 of these on using our universal nut. They come in 5/8 and 7/8 center holes, as well as 14 millimeter for the European market. In addition, we also have that's the 22 tooth. We also have the coarse 14 tooth in the same configuration. And we also have the Squire, which is a 3.5-inch version of this same tool. So that's what you start carving with. You shape the piece. And then we go to the Holy Galahad line of products. The purple extreme, there's a round blue coarse, as well as the medium red and the fine green. Once again, this is the next step after the Lancelot. Get rid of your chainsaw marks, do your final shaping on your piece. And then when we get done with that, we like to use my favorite tool, which is our Guinevere sanding system. Now, you all have this in your store. You sell these separately, sort of a la carte, when you order them from your warehouse. What you order is a motor. It'll be a motor like this in a box, and then you'll get the flexible shaft separately. These can all be sold separately and used separately. And then there'll be one of 2 or 3 different carving kits. This is our basic system. You see it has 2 bulbs, and this one has all 5 of the bulbs. Or this is the big boy kit, or total sanding system, as I like to call it. And what we've done to help you guys, and this is not available in the warehouse, but we do have it here. It comes in a white box like this. That's got the shelf talker. So all 3 of these boxes will be inside this box, and we have the pretty shelf talker there that explains everything to the customer and you, so it minimizes confusion. Has anybody got any questions?
Not yet.
Stephanie is here helping us today. Actually, she's facilitating the whole thing. I'm just here to tell you about the tools and answer any questions. The Guinevere system, the flexible shaft can be used in a drill press also. If someone, they don't want to buy the whole outfit at once, they can just buy this and put it in the drill press, and it works just fine. You have to remember that it has a lot more torque than this machine. Also, it creates a quick bend in the shaft as it exits the drill press chuck. So you want to take it easy because of the torque and that tight bend at the same time. It'll work great. You just take it easy on leaning on it as far as sanding goes. The sandpapers go in the round, go from 60 to 320 in 4 progressions, and in the cylinders they go from 80 to 320 in 4 steps. As you know, the bulbs are all inflatable. Now, one of the biggest technical questions we have is how do you inflate the bulbs? I'm going to deflate this round one. This is everybody's favorite, of course. It's very unique. So all you do is loosen that nut and lets the air out, and the bulb is very pliable and squishy. Now these kits, in addition to which one you get with the sanders, different configuration of sanding bulbs, the kit also comes with a little mini pump to pump these bulbs up with. Of course, the chuck keys and Allen wrenches, as well as a cleaning stick to keep these sandpapers clean. This makes the sandpaper last a lot longer if you keep them clean. So it's very simple. All the bulbs pump up the same way. You want to start with your pump open, put it on there, and what you want to make sure is this is going straight in to the pump. If it's off kilter like this, it'll be a little bit more difficult. So if it's straight in, you can just hold it all together as I'm doing here. A couple of pumps, and that's all it needs to pump that up. Now, people still have trouble with this, whether it's small hands or arthritis or uncoordinated. I can show you how to do this much easier, and this will really help your customers, particularly customers that come in and just buy a bulb to use in a drill or their own flexible shaft. They always seem to come away without a pump to pump the bulbs up. And if they don't want to buy a pump, or if they want to make their life easier, I can show you how to pump it. So this is all pliable, it's all ready to go. It slips on to the bulb. There's a little indexing tab that you can see on there, and it just lined up with a hole in the paper to kind of get it square in the hole. And what we've discovered is a simple duster like you dust your computer off with, this will work great for inflating the bulbs. You never want to overinflate, that's your biggest enemy. So you can just put the straw right into the hole, just give it a little squeeze like that, and it pumps the bulb up. Just that simple. You can do that with pretty much any can of air. Some of them have larger straws than the other, but they'll all work just great. I've even had to use it without the straw because I tend to lose these on a wholesale level. What I normally do with these is cut the straw in half and take one half to here because I always lose at least one. Anybody got any questions? Well, I'd like to encourage you guys to think about these white boxes. There's the basic sanding system, and there's the total sanding system. So they look real pretty on the shelf, and these particular boxes are empty, as you can see, but it shows the customer everything that's on there. It shows the salesperson everything that's supposed to be in the box, and that will help you so you're not looking for three different boxes for that. Now, we also have the Merlin 2, the world's smallest chainsaw. You guys have seen this in action. We have come out with this, and we're building it just about 20 miles from here. It's a very nice little tool for detail work. I use it in my classes a lot for carving spoons, cups, and ladles, and small detail work, small bowls that the Lancelots are too big for to get in there. This will get in there and carve it out. And of course, there's a big wide variety of abrasive discs. The basic kit comes with this red one as well as the chain, and some flap sanding discs. We also have just too many to show here in 15 minutes of the different attachments. I've been doing some metal conditioning with the tool, as well as just sanding hard to reach places, sanding in grain where the Guinevere you can't slow it down. It's just a straight up motor. It runs 3,600 RPMs. You can slow this sander down if I've got some end grain, for instance, on the ends of spoons and cups that sometimes are very hard, and this tends to burn a little bit if you don't control your friction on there by lightening on your touch, and this will take care of that. Of course, you know, some pieces of wood are so hard that you got to do that anyway. And so that's a nice little thing to have in the carver's arsenal, with the wide variety of products that are available for it. The Holy Galahad is also available. These are the round profile disc. There's also a flat profile disc, so you can definitely see the difference in the profile of that disc. There is straight on, and then if you look at them sideways, now these all have 7/8 arbor. and there's a lot of questions that customers have regarding the arbors on these. Everything else is 5/8 or 7/8. This is 7/8. All your grinders come with a top nut and a bottom flange. The top nuts can be really large, and so we've come up with our universal nut that fits down in the cup of this very well, and lets you get a good purchase on the shaft.
I have a question.
Okay.
What is your favorite grinder for the larger disc?
That is a great question. Right now, my favorite grinder, I've got it right here. I got two favorites. Let's see here. Number one right now is this is the Bosch GWS-10. We like a grinder with a paddle switch or a trigger switch. Now here's a paddle switch. You guys all know what that looks like. Runs down the tool, you squeeze it. It's sort of a dead man switch. You let go, the motor quits turning. Now, the other grinder, and I believe you guys maybe even carry a version of this. This is a new fine grinder. It's a paddle switch grinder. I don't know the model number right offhand. Here it is right here. This is a WSG7-115PT. Once again, paddle switch, and it also has an arbor long enough to accept two Lancelot discs. In addition to that, this is turning at 12,500 RPMs. As we all know, speed is your friend when you begin to carve. I like the Bosch a lot too. It's got this great anti-vibe handle on it. And if you'll notice, all these guards up here behind me and right here in front of me, they're all at this 45-degree position, we call it. This is gone over extensively in the instructions that are included with the tool. And you can see that basic position, so that is close to the bottom of the grinder, if you will, just for mounting purposes and carving. Now, some of these, like the Makita, they're very good grinders. There's nothing wrong with them. They just kind of have a little bit of a short arbor if you wanted to put two. But they all come with the same configuration of, they have this bottom flange. I don't know, you probably can't see it too closely, but you can look at, they have a little 7/8 ring that is machined into the nut or flange to allow you to either accept 5/8 accessories on the arbor or 7/8. So it gives you a 7/8 ring to index that onto the arbor.
We have another question.
Yes.
Are those Galahads easy to clean?
Yes, they're very easy to clean. Now, one of the things is you don't want to let it get too clogged up. There's a lot of little tricks for that. You can spray a lubricant on here. Of course, you guys have the Bow Shield and all that, but honestly, Pam cooking spray, $2 a can. You spray it before you begin. If you know you're going to be doing some stringy wood or something, go ahead and spray it first. It'll make it easier to clean. You can use a wire brush or a file card. I prefer a file card when they really get clogged up. There's also kinds of, if they really get choked up, you can use Pitch RX, which is a product we carry. There's a lot of other bit and blade cleaners that'll work just fine to get that cleaned up. But the best thing is treat it beforehand if you know the wood's going to give you trouble, and then clean it as you go along. Hit it again with the spray and go back to work. Only takes a minute, and as long as you don't hit anything metal with these, they will last an extremely long time. That includes banging them around in your toolbox, by the way.
We got about a minute left.
Okay. Anyway, back to the flange. So this has a 7/8 flange, and one of the things about the universal nut that not too many people realize, we've also machined out the back of it, because sometimes this flange that's on here is taller than the Galahad is thick. And so the machined out back of this will enable you to cup over that and clamp any accessory onto the arbor. If someone has lost their bottom flange, don't fear. We have a universal bottom flange that actually threads on in place of the stock one. The other big advantage of the universal nut that I really like is I've got lots of grinders. You can see here we have, I don't know how many grinders we have here, all different brands. They take different spanner wrenches, and if you guys are familiar with grinders, this is a 2-pin spanner wrench for tightening and loosening nuts, so you're always looking for this, or it's dangling from your cord or whatever. We have our wrench that fits on our universal nut quite nicely, but you can use a 7/8 socket, or I prefer not to use a wrench, because if you're trying to wrench this, and we have a nice offset on this, if you're trying to do this with an adjustable wrench or something, you can scratch the teeth. Once again, metal to metal contact, you don't want that, and that will help you tighten it. And just a dedicated socket will do the same thing, but the wrench is nice to have. And by using a universal nut on all your grinders, it homogenizes the grinder nut and the spanner wrench situation. So you take those that came with the tool and you toss it in a drawer somewhere for a rainy day and use the universal nut. Notice all these grinders have the universal nut on them, and there's all different brands here. Any more questions?
No more questions.
Well, it's been a real pleasure, and you guys can call me anytime. We're here at 8 to 5 Monday through Friday Eastern. If you have any more technical questions. Also, I have a big wide range of videos available. If you go to KATools.com, or on YouTube, it's the Lancelot Tool channel, Stephanie?
Yes.
And on YouTube, it's the Lancelot Tool channel. And you can go on there and see our videos. We have some old ones on there, but we also have a whole series called The Dark Secrets of Guinevere that'll answer a lot of questions. And they're all 1 to 3 minutes long. They're short, and they're by subject matter. So if you got a customer with a grinder nut question, you can go to the videos called Grinder Nuts, and you're going to be in good shape and get them all taken care of.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much for your time today.